Hi there, it's Ron again. Just wanted to make a short little video. This is a post run about my search for therapy for mental health issues and the need for Medicare for all. There's actually a lot of instances of this just in my personal search. And I'm quite certain there's thousands, if not millions, of other people that have experienced very similar things. But a particularly egregious example. As you watch any of my videos, you know I'd been dealing with depression and anxiety disorder and ADD for many years before the Boston Marathon bombings, and was you know, it hindered my life, to put it mildly. And then with the bombings, I got a heavy dose of PTSD on top of that. Well, a few years later, I finally found a psychiatrist, which kind of later I really needed a psychologist, but regardless, I finally got into some therapy in early 2016. Almost 3 years after the bombings. As many people who have gone through therapy know, it's not uncommon that the first one you find, or even the second one you find, is not the right one for you. That's not to disparage the counselor or therapist. That's just a fact. It's a very personal thing, but went there for several months. It was not working out well for me at all. So I quit that, quit my meds, quit going to group, quit everything out of anger and frustration. So from probably late summer till 2017, I went without. Now, in summer 2017, an acquaintance at the time who knew a bit about the problems I was going through, she said, "Hey, I'll help you, I'll try to help you find someone." So we were both calling around, and she got in touch with Texas Health Resources, which used to be Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas, and she told them my situation, and this is why we need Medicare for all. That I had severe depression, PTSD, anxiety disorder, ADD, and maybe other things as well. She told them also I had no money and no insurance. She very clearly stated this. And they said, "Oh, we have a program for people like that. Yeah, we have a social worker and a doctor will interview him, and we'll find the right program for him here. Well, we can work with people like that." So I was like, great. I thought that was a godsend, because by that time I was very suicidal. Not that we need the very on that, but so she gave me the names and numbers of the people she spoke to. So I called them the next day. I very clearly told them the same thing. Listen, I have no money, I have no insurance, but I'm desperate here. I have suicidal ideation every single day. I have an alcohol problem. Laid it all out. "Oh yeah, come on in." "No, yeah, well, we've got programs we can help you with." So I went in, made an appointment. Can't remember if the appointment was for the next day or a couple days later, but fairly soon thereafter. And sorry, there's a lot of traffic out at 3 in the morning. Anyway, so I went in there and filled out all their forms, questionnaires and medical history and all that, and waited, and a social worker that Texas Health Resources has on staff. Social worker and I think it was a doctor. They interviewed me and I laid everything out, emphasizing the whole time, had no money, no insurance, I have suicidal ideation, I can't do this anymore, something has to change, something has to give, because I'm about to crumble. So they take all that down, interview me for about an hour, then they go into another room and talk for a few minutes, and they come back and very happily inform me of this Gold Star program that they have, and I can do it inpatient or outpatient. I told them I prefer outpatient because by that time I had my dog Zeus, who is my emotional support dog. By this time I had Zeus, so I definitely wanted to do outpatient, and they told me that wouldn't be a problem. You could have the option, and they described the program, which sounded awesome. You show up every day. It's almost like a job. You show up every day for several hours, and they get you on the right track. And if I remember correctly, actually I think the cost was higher than this, but they told me it costs $600 a week. We realize that's more than some people can afford. And I said, well, that's more than I make. That's, you know, almost 3 times per month my rent, and it's more money than I make, period. So I can't do that. I mean, I thought you said you had a program to help people like me, because my friend and me, we both told you very clearly I have no money, no insurance. Are you sure you have no insurance? Yes, I'm quite sure of that. Well, we really just can't get you in there then. They gave me the suicide hotline phone numbers and said, well, good luck, Mr. McCracken. There was no follow-up from them after that. That was a bait and switch on their part. And regardless of that, I mean, I went outside the building at Texas Health Resources. I went outside and I just sat outside the building for over an hour crying, because both my friend and I, we both thought that was potentially the solution. We had high hopes for that. But with no money and no insurance, I was shit out of luck. I have no idea why they even have that social care, I mean that social worker or the doctor that interviewed me. And I know this has happened to other people. We're losing 20-something veterans a day to suicide. We're losing Lord knows how many hundreds of other people to suicide every week, especially during this time with the pandemic and all the stresses it brings. If we had universal health care with a mental health provision where anyone who needs counseling and therapy can get it quickly and get it for free. That's what we have to have. This has to change, or this insanity, this insane cycle of some celebrities kill themselves and it's in the news and everyone wrings their hands and oh my God, yeah, hands across America and all this other stuff. Yeah, we're gonna change things and all that, and it never changes. Robin Williams killed himself, what, I think 6 years ago? I think it was 6 years ago. Nothing's changed since then. Anthony Bourdain killed himself 2 or 3 years ago. Nothing's changed. And those people that had all the money and resources they could possibly have wanted at their disposal. Now, the shape they were in, they weren't able to help themselves really, and I understand that. But bottom line, sorry, car creeping past. Bottom line is, our system has to change. We have to have universal health care with provisions for mental health. Whoever needs it, regardless of income, regardless of job status, regardless of any insurance or lack thereof, it should be there. We have the money and resources as a nation to do this. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie to pretend that we don't. So, let's pressure our politicians in Washington to get this done. All right. Well, thanks for listening to my rant, everybody. Anyone who needs help, please reach out. Please reach out to me. Reach out to your friends or family. Reach out to your coworkers. Reach out to the hotlines. Do what you need to get some help. And if you know people who are struggling, please check in on them. Best thing you can do is check in on people and listen without judging. Let them know that you care. All right, thanks y'all. Everybody stay safe.